than what you're seeing on the page. I'm going to show you the first 4 bars of Georgia on my mind. So see how you have the F major 7. That's cool. We want that. That's the 1 chord. But then in this book, it says E minor 7 flat 5 to A7. Well, that E minor 7 flat 5 is not necessary. Django Reinhardt just went straight to the A7. The E minor 7 flat 5 chord is a prep chord. It creates the 2-5 chord pattern, which is really nice, but it's not necessary. A7 is what's important, okay? And then on the D minor, then you have some bassline, fancy bassline movement, D minor slash C, G slash B, B flat minor. That's totally unnecessary. It's just D minor for measure, and then B flat minor for measure 4. B flat minor 6 is preferable, and that's the borrowed minor 4 chord. So again, I'm talking a lot of shop, but this is important because a lot of people get confused. They get weighed down by those changes that they see on the chart when it's really just F major, A7, D minor, B flat minor. And that's how easy Georgia on my mind is. Then it's 1-6-2-5, 3-6-2-5. I'm going to show in the bass line is nice. So let's do the 1, F6, D7. We want that dominant 6 there as a secondary dominant to the G minor, 2, G minor 7, C7. And then it doesn't resolve to the F. It goes to the 3 on my mind. 3-6-2-5, which is a sub for the 1 chord. And then on the 5 chord here, check it out. I'm going to put C7 sharp 5. And that gives a really nice flavor. That's in the melody of Georgia on my mind, that sharp 5 there on that turnaround. Okay. We'll go through the melody in a second. And the melody actually there is Georgia on my mind. So it's really nice to bring that out for that. Okay. So again, here's the very, very easy version of Georgia on my mind, which I feel is what you should play at first before adding in some bass line and subs. 2, 3, F major, A7, A7, full measure, D minor, or D minor 7, and then B flat minor, 2, 3, and then easy, 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, and 5, but we're going to augment it again. We can sub this out with diminished and all that stuff later. 1, 6, I'm just looping the A section. 2, 5, 3, 6. See, I'm adding some diminished sub, some bass line movement. See, I'm just still thinking simple. A7, walking bass, D minor, walking the bass. I sub that out. B flat minor 6 is equivalent to G minor 7 flat 5. So if you know those enharmonic choices, you can sub that out, and it's not really even a sub, it's just an inversion. 1, 6, and again, that 6 as a dominant is really nice and soulful and bluesy. We want that instead of a minor. We want that dominant, okay, quality. So remember that everything can be turned into a dominant on a 1-6-2-5. You get a bluesier vibe. So if you want that bluesier soulful vibe, definitely turn everything into dominant. And then check it out, dominant, dominant, dominant. See what I'm saying on the turnaround? I love that. 1, 3 dominant, which is the 5 and the 6. Then the 6, minor 4. 1-6-2-5, dominance, purple haze. 3, and I wanted the A minor there, the 3 to the 6. We can alter those dominants. 2, and then the 5, I'm going to augment this like I'm playing the whole tone scale and then back to the 1. And that's your A section, essentially. The second time, you just want to resolve it to the F major. Hopefully you guys are getting that. This lesson is going to be archived on Patreon at the gold tier. Eventually it'll be on a YouTube member, but it'll be on YouTube for the day today, so check it out while you can. And I'm looking at my basic score here. This has everything you need to know for the simple version of it. I'll show it to you here. So we just did that, and then continue on. I've got the melody on top with the lyric, and then the chord shape and the voicing in tabs underneath it. Sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. On that second ending, you just want to go 1 through the pines, 4, or E flat 9. See how it's the same thing, back door. B flat minor or E flat 9. Not a big deal. You choose. Or you could do this. Okay, walk it up. So we want to go 1, 4, 1. And then put that 3 dominant again. 3 dominant means it's going to go to the 6. Other arms. And then we're at the B section. I think we should go through that again. Let's just jam on the A section. I'm just going to loop it over and over. 1, A7, the 3 dominant, and then the 6, and then the minor 4. 1. You could also do 3 there if you want. 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5, with the augmented there because of the melody. And we're going to goof around a little bit. F major 7, A7. Make sure you say the chords, the names. D minor, B flat minor. We should play that in a different key as well, okay? 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6. Remember in the key of F. 5, 1. Walking bass line. 3, dominant. 6, minor 4, 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 2, 5, top. A7 coming up. Now I'm just having fun with some inversions to show you. Now I'm throwing in some bassline movement there. Voice leading. G minor 7 flat 5 is equivalent to, you know I'm going to ask you this, I do this every session. G minor 7 flat 5 is equivalent to B flat minor 6. That's a very important trick. It's a 2 as a half dim, and it's the same as a 4 as a minor 6. So remember that. It's like night and day. When you play night and day, it starts on that 2 half dim, like it's being borrowed again, like you're in the minor key. So when it does this movement on Georgia, a F major 7, A7, F major 7 to A7, D minor to the G half dim. Again, it's usually written as a B flat minor 6. But just remember that little trick, because that's great for soloing, and it's great for, as I'm demonstrating, for your inversions. So you can have a lot of fun with the chord melody style comping and or chord melody style playing, as I'm kind of just lightly demonstrating here. I always say kind of a la Joe Pass, just having fun with chords, connecting, creating your own melodies. By the way, Terry, welcome again. Thanks for joining in. If and nobody else has really chimed in the chat, I wonder if we have some newbies. I'm waiting to hear from my Daves. Hope you all are having a great holiday week, the final week of the year. It's been a great year. Thanks for watching my live streams. I'm going to be kicking it up a notch or two in the new year. Probably be doing live streams about 5 days a week, offering random tips and my favorite songs and songs that I've never played before, meaning your requests. I'll be doing a lot of things, and a lot of the folks who watch this are on my Patreon page already. And I take ideas from what they give me, my private lessons with them, members, and I create lessons and YouTube it out there to the world. So 'cause I know a lot of other people. Dave's not here, but David's here. Thanks. David, it's good to see you. But David's a Patreon member. Terry, you both are. Thank you guys for being on Patreon, which is my community. And again, I hope that you are enjoying Patreon, and other folks are probably watching this after it's a holiday week. I don't expect too many people to join in, but you can grab this. You can grab my chord melody arrangement as well. And then you can, besides the score, here's just a simple version of it too. We're going to play the melody in a second, but I think I'm going to just do a little up close. This is often what I call chord exploration. And I'm just saying, like, goof around and have some fun with chords. So I'm going to just kind of do this, get close a little bit here, and just maybe talk through those shapes a little bit. Okay. We're just goofing around with chords on Georgia. F major 9, A7 sharp 5, D minor 11, B flat minor 7, little voice leading, F, maybe instead of F, the 1, I'm going to go to the 3, because that's a really important sub, and then I'm going to do tritone sub. So instead of going A, D, I went A flat, and then G minor 7. And instead of going to C, I'm going to go to F sharps 13, which is tritone sub. And that way you get this nice chromatic bass line on a 3, 6, 2, 5, like this. A7. That's a diminished sub. D minor. B flat minor 11. Get some cool sounds this way. A minor. D7 sharp 9. Do you see, guys, what I'm doing? I'm creating an inner voice leading. F. How about G minor major 7 sharp with a major 7 here? And then C7 with the flat 9. And then F major 7. I'm playing a little game. I'm going to keep ascending. A7 flat 9, D minor 6, G minor 7 with the flat 5 and the 11. And then I've got to be on the A minor 7. I'm going to go to the A minor 11, D7 sharp 5, flat 5, G minor 9, tritone sub, F major 9, D7 sharp 9, G minor 6, C7 sharp 9 sharp 5, F major 6, C sharp dim for the A7, D minor 6 9. James, yeah, I totally. This is a great way to write a new song, being inspired from a chord progression, and then B flat. But the funny thing is, James, is that when you're soloing on it, you say, yeah, you're just playing the changes to Georgia, and everybody doesn't have to think about it. But you get all these cool melody ideas by doing this method. It's a little modern sounding. It could be more inside. B flat minor 11, and then A minor 11. A flat 7, flat 5, tritone sub, G minor 11. I didn't realize I'm doing a modern jazz guitar lesson on Georgia today. I'm doing a sequence, by the way. And then F. How about G/F if we want to get out there? Or little Liddy. I was going to do this. I'm going to hurt myself today, though. That was on the 3-6-2-5 turnaround. I went like this. The idea is to kind of have a common tone approach. See this note? Let's try a different note. That was a little outside, but I wanted that. Let's try that again. I'm going to not talk now. But keep your eye and ear on this ascending line. It's nice just to have like a goal in mind. And I'm just wanting to ascend through the changes of Georgia on my mind. And now that was pretty cool, actually. I was pretty impressed with myself. Sorry, I got a comment. Is this chord melody? I consider it chord exploration. Subisiso, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Sibu Iso. Where are you from? This is what I call chord exploration. It's like the most fun game you can do as a jazz guitarist is not just only to do this, Georgia, the whole day through, this is fun and all for swing guitar. It gets kind of the rote stuff, But what I like to do is to experiment. So this leads me to some new possibilities and new sounds by thinking this way. Oh, South Africa, thank you. Welcome. Appreciate it. Thanks for letting me know. This is again called chord exploration, but it's kind of chord melody, bass. Sorry, I'm gonna grab a pick. My fingers are a little tired. I've had these 5-hour gigs on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and it's all finger style. So today I'm just gonna grab a pick, make it easy. So again, now I'm just kind of demonstrating that melodic line on the second string to create some chord melody style. Okay, but you could bring it out, but it's also great for soloing, especially if you don't want to, just blaze through the changes for fun. This is a little bit more fun and thoughtful. So now I'm going to descend. I'm going to have completely different chord shapes. F major 13, A7. I'm thinking about this. D minor 7, G minor 7 flat 5, which is B flat minor 6, as I was saying in my sub. 1, F major 7, D7 flat 5, G minor 7, C7 flat 5, F major with the A in the bass, D7 sharp 5, maybe I'll go to D7 flat 9, creating the chromatic voice leading down, G minor and add 9, just for the fun of it, C7 flat 9. See, I'm going more for some altered sounds and extensions to add color. I'm going to do it going ascending and descending. I'll write this out. I've got a little thing happening here, and it's just from exploring, not just from doing this, the basic, what I call grip shapes, that you'd always do when just comping, especially in the swing style. This is what I'm calling chord exploring. But the idea of it in this case, it's a simple idea. You're just connecting shapes that you already basically know, but the idea of it is to have a melody concept. I have kind of thinking counterpoint. I'm often thinking, okay, do I want to ascend or descend? And it might be contrary or, to the bass line. It might go against the bass line movement. It might go with it. Tritone sub leads to a chromatic bass line. So if you're ascending your chords, like I was demonstrating this, maybe this, you can have, again, that contrary motion, which is counterpoint. It's just really lovely to have two things going against each other. You can have different movements. Again, the oblique movement is where you have one note being constant. I'm going to demonstrate that right now. Oblique movement. And the idea is to have this note or any note you choose as a constant note while the bass line perhaps is moving underneath. This note here, F6, I'll yell it out, A7 sharp 5, D minor, I'll add the 9 in just for some color, B flat minor 6 with the B flat minor, add 9. So right there I held the first 4 chords, this F note, as a constant, as a pedal tone, but listen to how it changes color. I'm going to start off with the F major 7 like this, A7 sharp 5, D minor, add 9, B flat minor, add 9. See, it sounds totally different. If you just heard that, you might say, ooh, that's really beautiful. I'm saying, yeah, it's just the chord changes to Georgia, which is already beautiful, right? F with the A in the bass, F major 9, D7 sharp 9, G minor 7, C sus, C9 sus 4, if you want to be technical, or B flat slash C, or minor, B flat 9. And then again, same thing there. And then maybe, so I held that one note, that F note, constant for all 8 bars of that. So I'll show you again. I'll do that major 7, A7 sharp 5, D minor 9, add 9, B flat minor, add 9, F slash A, D7 sharp 9, G minor 7, C9 sus 4, turn around, open string, tritone sub, A flat 13, and then C9 sus 4, C7 flat 9. Now I'm going to do a different note and see what happens. This is chord exploring. F major 9, A7 flat 9, D minor 11, B flat minor 13, A minor 7 or F major 9 again, D sus, G minor 11 or 7, C7 flat 9, A minor. I'm going to do tritone sub here. This is going to be major 7 against a dominant. It's going to sound pretty gnarly. But listen. And we go through all the notes there. And I'm just demonstrating for fun. F major 7, A7. I'll add the 9. D minor, add 9. B flat minor with a major 7. So really some beautiful colors. You would not typically do this if you're just doing this. Georgia. You know what I'm saying? And then you can play this little game So anyways, I'm not going to do that for the whole lesson, but I wanted to share because it's super fun. But not only that, the reason why I'm sharing that this game is going to really make you learn the chord progression, really, really well by doing this game. But if you're a beginner, I would not recommend that. I just say stick to the basics. If you're just joining in, we're going through Georgia on my mind. Zoom out a little bit here. Let's bring it kind of up close. We got the one chord, Georgia, A7, D minor, and the minor 4, B flat minor. So it's 1, the 3 dominant, the 6, the minor 4. That's how you memorize it. And then 1, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5. But see, now I'm going to add some of those subs that I already was goofing around with. 1, 3 dominant, 6, minor 4. See, I'm adding in some of those 2 5s, even 3, 6, 2, 5. 1. And there's your A section. That was 16 bars. 1 minor 4, or the flat 7 in the back door if you want. Fun. You having fun experimenting this with me? This conversation's a little bit one-sided. I appreciate the thumbs up. That helps the YouTube algorithms. And of course, I'm going to do my plug here. But if you're not already on Patreon, do consider joining. This is where you can join my community and have access to over 4,300 Patreon exclusive posts and lessons. That's not a joke. There's literally over 4,300 posts and lessons and materials to get you through the winter and the new year. Keep you busy. You can find things that you enjoy working on. My favorite things to play are, well, these old standards. That's my favorite thing. The bossa nova style, Beatles, pop songs, classic rock, of course, too. I'm not posting as much classic rock on here just because I feel like that's pretty much already what YouTube is all about. So much classic rock guitar lessons, but I might be sharing some more of the pop rock stuff too in the new year. Just trying to have fun playing music after all these years and keep it interesting and exciting for me, meeting so many wonderful people like you all joining me. So I really appreciate it. It's kind of what it's all about. David, thanks. I'm glad you're having fun. I almost thought it said James Brown for a second. I was like, what? James Brown's watching? Jason Brown. Yeah. Absolutely. Chord melody on classic rock. You have a song in mind, and that's what's fun. I like that. I like people saying, hey, can you do a chord melody on, Beatles is classic rock, isn't it? Or are you kind of thinking more like Bon Jovi? That was a joke. Bon Jovi's not classic rock. Yeah, they are kind of 80s classic. Well, think about that, Jason Brown. Beatles, yeah, absolutely. Beatles chord melody is my favorite. And I'll tell you why. The melodies are so strong. It's not just root, it's not like monotonous. A lot of the same note. It's a melody. I know, I was just joking. I don't know why Bon Jovi popped out. I don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Bon Jovi fan, but it's limited. But still, they wrote great songs. I think that's important. You have to be careful with some of the classic rock songs because a lot of it's so riff based, and the melody notes when you're looking at it, it's kind of like contemporary pop music. It's just a lot of the same one note with a lot of rhythm, which is very important, of course. And don't get me wrong, there's songs like this in the jazz style. One note sound, but where it's all about the rhythm, but then you have the cool harmonic choices, that move around underneath it. Ooh, Journey's a nice one too. You have really beautiful melodies, and I would probably start with, just a ballad, something that's really beautiful. Um, regarding chord melody style arrangement. Um, so yeah, I could definitely already have some Beatles songs. A song that I'm gonna create a really simple arrangement for by the Beatles, by the way, is "And I Love Her." If you all know that one, I really like that song, and it's really a simple one. I'm gonna Oh, Cebu Ciso, good to meet you. Thank you for joining in, even though your battery is dying. Happy New Year. We'll see you guys again. I'm planning on doing more live streams in the new year. I'm planning on probably kicking it up to 5 days a week, doing things like this, chatting with you all, having my morning coffee, and going through some, guitar talk. Oh, Julia, that's a nice song. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that one. Maybe we could do a live stream and look at it together, um, the lead sheet, and just talk shop. Um, the song that I was just mentioning was "And I Love Her." I played in the key of C, which is really a simple version. You have D minor, A minor, D minor, A minor. So again, just like I'm talking about Georgia, you want to simplify the changes. And there's no rules to how you do it. I'm doing something really simple. Sixes. And that's the basic melody. Something like that. And then just learn them. The process is still the same. Learn the basic chords, learn the melody separately, figure out, this is the fun part, how to piece it together. I'm going to show you on Georgia in a minute. We'll go through the process together. I have a fancy arrangement for Georgia, and I have a simple triad arrangement already on Patreon, as you all know. Well, some of you know. Jason, I don't know if you're on Patreon or not, but you'd probably be a good candidate to join the community. But the process, oh, good. Thank you. I don't know if you've ever commented before, because excuse me if you have. But anyways, good to meet you. But it's fun to share the process. There's no one complete method. No worries. I'm glad you joined in today, Jason. So let's talk about melody right now, as a matter of fact. And I've got my tabs here again. I'm just going to show you, in case you can click on the link and it'll lead you to Patreon at the all tiers, or not all tiers. What is it called? I don't know what's available. There might be some coffee tiers left. If the $2 tier, it comes and goes, and then it's the espresso tier. As you can see, my fascination with coffee. I'm holding this up. I'm just going to play the melody as written here. Okay, I'm going to get close, and I'm going to show you some harmonizations, and I'm going to start with just some really basic triads. This is not necessarily to my arrangement that's available on Patreon. I've got two arrangements. One is the easy triad arrangement, and the other is the fuller solo guitar arrangement. So I'm just going to start from scratch with you right now. And I might come up with something new. But here's the basic melody. You can do it here, and I recommend, or here. I don't recommend it down there. I would do that if I had a band backing me up. But for solo guitar, I want to do it on the second string and the first string. The reason is I want to be able to harmonize it underneath it. Here's an F major 7 chord, got both melody notes from this one shape. The third, and the fifth. The easy triad version would just be this. Very, very simple and pure. Just a F major triad. If you wanted to, you can add 9 it. Okay, you can even do that. Georgia, and then do this. And then here's that A7, Georgia. So I went here to the G, A, G of the A7. Now the jazzers would go E minor 7 flat 5. And then A7. Notice I went to the flat. This is a diminished sub. This. So I went like this. A little blue note. To the D minor. Check this out. So in D minor, triad with a fifth on top, D minor with the root on top, and back to the D minor. These are inversions. Super fun. And then G major. And then B flat minor 6. These are just triads. I put C there in the bass. And then this turnaround, I'll do A minor, triad, diminish, and then G minor, and then C7 sharp 5. And that's augmented. It could be down here. So I'm kind of demonstrating a couple options here. I got the really simple triad approach. You hit the bass. See, we're lucky we could do this in this key. And then we could do it maybe with fuller chords, 7th chords. Maybe get the bass line. Inversions. Inversions. Now, goofing around a little bit. Let's do that again. Really basic version of it with 7th chords. Little filler with my fingers. This is G with a B in the bass. This is again the sub, and then B flat minor 6. Get the melody note. See the chord shape? Just grabbing the melody from the chord shapes. This is important that you just extract it. A minor 7. See how easy this is? The melody's this. But you got the A minor bar. And then the D7, got the 9 on top. Got the D7 here. You can even make it a 13. Or just D7 is just perfect. And then G minor 7. See how the chord shape has it in there? The melody. Again, we already got the melody down separately. And then the A minor 7. I'm going to do the A minor 7 here, which is the same as over here. I'm not going to assume you have a cutaway. And then diminish it. And what I mean by diminish is A minor 7 to the A dim 7. And that's the sub for the D7 flat 9, this. And then G minor 7, C7 sharp 5. And the scale I would choose for that, and that helps also with soloing too. It allows me to make my choices for what scales I want to use when I'm improvising by going through this process. So again, I really recommend that you take one song. I know I have an extreme amount of songs on Patreon, but take one song that you really enjoy, go through this method of learning the basic chords, understanding the basic harmonic movement, and then fancying it up with some bass line movement. That adds a lot of possibilities and counterpoint options. Do the chord exploring, and then try to piece it together into a chord melody. And then you can kind of have fun on a gig or just for yourself, and then do that chord exploring as I was doing too, so that you have some room for improvisation. Good to see you, Sibuso. Sibusiso. Hope I pronounced your name correctly. Appreciate you joining in. Let's talk about the B section. Other arms reach out to me. So again, we have the 5 chord going into the, check it out. It was pentatonic until this note. That's that 6th degree of D minor. But here's D minor. That's D minor penta. Here's a blues. Here's a 6th. So when we're doing the melody here, in this case, I'm starting here. We could go down here too, but then I'd have to move my guitar into the picture. So I'm going to start here. The words are, other arms reach out to me. So the chords are D minor, G minor, and this is a G minor 7, but I can also do E half dim, because I know that that's G minor 6. So again, you can sub. And then B flat 7. So D minor, G minor 7, but I went to E half dim, and then D minor to the B flat 7. That adds that bluesy flat 6. Right? You know what I'm talking about? Same thing. And then this 2-5, D minor 7, that's like T for 2. Classic bebop. Okay, so here's the B section. That's a G7. Same thing. Now the tricky part here, we got to get the descending bass line, D minor with a C sharp in the bass, if you want that bass line. But you could just do A C sharp dim. That sounds more gospel. And then D minor with a C in the bass. This is where it got a little bit tricky, just because of the bass line. We have this. And then 3, 6, 2, 5. Okay. So that's, again, D minor, C sharp dim, D minor slash C, quick change, B half dim to E7. The road, A minor, 3, 6, 2, 5, we're home free. The road leads back to you. Last A, okay. So again, that's a quick demonstration and analysis of what's happening there. This descending bass line is really pretty. It's just this movement. Just think of the D minor like this. So the whole B section is this. Other arms reach out to me. Other smiles, or whatever the words, tenderly, still in peace, dreams I see, leads back to you. A little gospel. Let's finish it out. This is a very polite version. That was a very polite ending. I didn't do anything fancy, but you'd probably want to go, Georgia on my mind. So when you hear the vocalist go up, mine, to that note, that's telling you, go to the 3 chord. Do not go to any other chord, but go to the 3. You got to delay that resolution of the cadence there. Don't go to the 1, go to the 3. Bass players, if you're new at the bass, you got to go to the 3 there. Don't go to the 1. Don't resolve it. And maybe if you have a band, they're going to go into a little bit of shuffle, a little triplet if you're gospeling it up. So you have this. Georgia on my little tritone. So I went that walk up, flat 7, the back door. But again, the tag you can say is the 3 chord. You got to go to that 3 if you hear the singer not wanting to resolve it. If you're or yourself, if you're singing it, if you just want to. Maybe a Lydian chord. So that's Georgia on my mind. You guys got it all down? You want to play through it once with me for fun? Do some chords? I'm going to get up close again. If you guys are just tuning in, you've missed a good lesson. You'll have to watch it later today. It'll still be up on YouTube all day today. And then it'll get archived on my YouTube members. Here's just some basic changes. Having fun with the chords now. And it'll be on Patreon, by the way, the gold tier, in the next week or so. Why not add that bass line? Little melody. And now we're at the B section. Two, 5. I like that diminished sub. Diminish. Bass line. Let's chord explore a little bit. Ready? Let's try this. don't forget the melody. B section. Jason, that's what I did here on the G minor. I'm going to E minor 7 flat 5. So D minor instead of G minor, I'm going to E half dim. Same thing. G minor 6 is equal to E half dim. I'm just using the guitar. So the melody is, the bass player will probably still go to G because that's what it says in the chart. You as a guitar player can go to E half dim. Let the bass player still do G. Okay, sounds good. Grab the melody. You can go over here, G minor 9. Same idea. And then bluesy, that flat 7. And this is a 2-5-3 diminished sub. And then here, C7 flat 9 13 for fun, just for fun. And then for that last day, let's explore a little bit more. By the way, E half dim is equivalent to G minor 6. So I'm going to do this. Then check this out. Bass line. Minor 11. Do I want to go to the 3? Absolutely. Tritone sub. I love major 9 chords for ending chords, or sharp 11, you know, something beautiful and pretty, or just major 7, the sharp 11. Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining in on this. Give me some ideas. Jason, thanks for your request on some classic rock. I think I'm going to explore that a little bit, do some other songs. You know, on Patreon, I've got some Beatles already. I've got songs like Sunny. I've got songs like Just the Two of Us, you know, the classics. Isn't She Lovely as chord melody. Those are a little bit more to the popular and soul jazz style. But Beatles really make a great study on there. Hey, Carl, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. But definitely leave me any requests, especially coming in the new year. I want to keep expanding out some different things. You know, hey, I'm up for Nirvana or whatever you guys want to do. Oh, good job from South Africa. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much. Maybe I'll see you in the next day or two for another one. I'll be considering, if you're on Patreon, you can always feel free to leave me any song requests. There's some topics that are open for discussion. I'm glad we got some really good chord exploring for this song. That was really a sweet progression to do that. I'll talk about some soloing ideas using melodic minor and all that good stuff too. But don't forget, it's all about the melody. You got to learn the melody first. Learn the basic chords, learn the melody, and then have fun piecing it together. That's what's important. Don't spend too much time learning a really complex arrangement. Focus on the basics and then have fun with it. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Cheers. I think the obvious choice is D minor blues. You know, that's pretty much what most people would do for like the whole song. You could just get bluesy. You know, F major, penta, D minor, because we're in the key of F. So F major, penta, or D minor, penta, or the, you know, that could be blues added in. Right, that's the next level, sticking some modes and harmonic minor. So again, I'm on the D position. You have F major 7.
D Aeolian mode is F major, key of F, right? You know, this F major 7, that B flat, mixed in with some blues is really nice. Here's a, so even though I'm thinking D minor kind of position, I'm not really, because it's an F major chord, I'm not really gonna hang on that D so much. That is a nice 6th degree, but I'm gonna probably be, you know, want to know where my F is. That's why I like that penta, or there's that B flat. But anyways, the idea is to stay all within this 10th fret position. And then on that A7 chord, there's that harmonic minor. This is just a nice ballad, you know? But anyways, catch that harmonic minor scale in that 2nd measure. Basically know that the C goes to C sharp. And then it goes to D. And again, that's very simple voice leading, but it's very important just to see that. It's kind of like All of Me. You know, you can just go like this. It's that same movement there, 1 to the, which is the 5 of the 6th chord. That's how I think of it, as if I'm playing All of Me, right? That's a borrowed chord there, that minor 4. B flat minor is a minor 4 of F minor right here, so that you can just kind of go to the 4 chord essentially. Or this. That half diminished sound, like this. Here, basically we're adding in this one note, the C note. This, like if I know I want to do this, I go, you know what I mean? I add some chromatic filler. And then back to A minor. Or F major there. The chart, some charts might say A, F major. I think A minor, which is a 3 chord. And of course, I would just go probably back to the D minor Aeolian mode, which is diatonic to F major. However, because we know this is where it get jazzy, we can get jazzy, because we know it's a 3-6-2-5, the jazz player on A minor 7 chord would not think A Phrygian, they would play A Dorian. And then D7. And then G minor, G Dorian. So now I'm kind of playing 2 each chord, you know, a little bit more there. A Dorian. By the way, just quick little mode quiz. A Dorian is equivalent to D what? Right. So if you wanted to, on that A minor chord, you could play D mixo. If you wanted to stay within that position. I think most guitar players, you hit an A minor 7, and you go Dorian, you know what I mean? And then do the D7, and then G minor 7. And then we're going S. Right, or again, if you're running scales, that's Mixolydian mode off D7. B flat minor 6 chord, we went to the G root and did that half dim, that arpeggio flavor. But for the D one, that F sharp kind of really makes it bright. Do this. Just a jam on A minor 7 to D7. You know that you can run A Dorian, D mixo, G Dorian, C mixo, and then F. Spewing out some 2-5 licks. I really love that B flat minor 6, aka G half dim. And then back to the A minor 7. And even I played A minor 7 here, and then I ran this D mixo. D7. Yeah, I just kind of hit the chord A minor 7 here, and then I kind of did this in this 12th fret position, and then D7, and then G minor 7, and that's back to Aeolian. I'm just demonstrating some chord scale relationship. A minor 7, and I did A Dorian or D mixo. And then G minor 7, D Aeolian, C, and then F major 7, and then 2. You know, I got to throw in that whole tone scale on that sharp 5 chord, and then back to when it goes. When the chord goes, that's where I would go. But you know, again, it's 3-6-2-5, 3-6-2-5, or 3-6-2-5, 1-6-2-5. But you've got to just kind of pay attention to the rhythm player, the band, because if they're playing A minor 7 to D7, that kind of allows you to do that D mixolydian vibe, you know, I think a little bit more than if you were just to do that F major. Because if the band is going to F major and you're playing that D7, D mixo, there might be a little bit of collision that's not intended. Like on an F major 7 chord, you're not gonna play, that's just gonna sound wrong if you're playing a D and F sharp on that F major 7. But if the band is playing A minor 7 to D9, that F sharp's gonna sound beautiful. So again, you just want to kind of be prepared for what the band's gonna do on the turnarounds. Is it 1-6-2-5 or is it 3-6-2-5? Because it does kind of make a difference. Ooh, whoa. Sharp 11 there. That's pretty colorful. It's a little bit fancier, but what we did will still work. And then here, I'm gonna wait to right here. See, that F sharp was nice. Then see that? Sharp 11. Right here. This is all kind of Aeolian. 2-5. Harmonic minor. And then Follow the chromatic. Right here. In general, keep it simple phrasing. I mean, you know, just being general about it. Lyrical. And on the 3, 6, 2, 5, on the A minor 7, you get this nice chromatic. G to F sharp, F to E, da 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 da. Sounds like a pop song. Da, 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 da. Or I mean, you know, the 3 is a sub for the 1, but it's just nice to catch that voice leading. The G, you know, that chromatic. Right, do you hear that? That nice chromatic, sorry. I love all those 2/5 licks. I mean, you know, I think that's really nice to be able to do, just play the changes without any backing track. I mean, you're not just obviously, I mean, you could, but you're not going to rely just on blues pentatonic licks, right? Here we go, B section. Then right here. So I went F major, A, then that C sharp. So yeah, in this case, I'm kind of just staying in this position. And then A7. Yeah, and then here's, check this out, D minor. And then B flat melodic minor. Yeah, nice. Then there's that harmonic. D minor. Now it's B flat minor. Little bluesy. Dorian for the 3. Yeah, there I did F major 7. I'm getting a little fancy here, but this. Yeah, you know, I like that diagonal shape for the major 7. And then turn it to diminish on the E. That's what I think is fun. That E, of course, is a 5 of A7. So you have F major 7, and then D minor. So I went, then I went, and then D minor, and then B flat minor, and then 2/5 lick right there. Just go, and then there I did A minor, the same lick. Then there I did C7, little melodic minor, then F major. You know, again, now we're just connecting the dots a little bit. But down here, I wanted to do some stuff, arpeggios. And then diminish. Try this for a second. Triads are one of the biggest things that I think are one of the foundational things. Whether you're playing leads, gypsy jazz, soloing, rock, it's just that this is stuff that's overlooked. Oftentimes people just go straight to blues licks and pentatonics, but not the triad study. So the deal with Georgia on my mind is that lead sheet is fancier. I would recommend that you look at my simplified. This is where I'm just putting out sometimes you have a lot of bass line movement. Don't get me wrong, that's nice. You know, all this stuff, that's great if you're kind of filling in. But if you're just playing some leads, this is all you might need. So there I just simplified the whole progression, but you can still hear the tune. You can hear the basic chord progression. And this is what I want to share with that A, especially just the A section for now. F major. And it's all written on that chart there. But when you extract the melody is this. Sorry, I'm going to mute whoever's, I'm going to mute you. When you have the melody here, it's this. But even before we get into chord melody, remember, you got to make this an exercise for yourself. This is where there's a lot of new chords we just, went over last time. Here's F, 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 F. Now on the A7 chord, I'm going to suggest that you just do A major, triad. Don't worry about thinking C sharp diminished. That's a little bit too much thinking right now. A major, D minor, B flat minor. I love that flavor, it's bluesy. And then A minor, D, sequence it, G minor, C. By the way, I'm just doing one inversion. It's not necessarily what's written on paper. Then it repeats A minor. I'm going to do a different one. D, G minor, C. This is supposed to be C7. I will do the diminish here. And then back to F major. A, D minor, B flat minor, A minor, D, G minor, C, A minor, D, G minor, augmented. There's a little augmented whole tone scale trick. Anyways, that's a good study right there. That's exactly what we did with In My Life. That's what we just did with Pachelbel's Canon, 1564. Just take a simple progression. Okay, it's not that simple, but take a progression that's written on the paper. In this case, you can take what I wrote, not the lead sheet that has all these fancy bass line movement. That could get confusing. Sometimes it's important to just strip it down to what is the basic sound. And I think that is the basic sound there. We can make it even a little bit more simple than that. But I think that's a nice, especially in the jazz style.
especially those A minor 7, D7, G minor 7, C7. Those are called 2-5 progressions. We want to hear those 2-5, 2-5s. We'll get more into that during this, especially when we do. I have a great exercise we'll share later. It's all about 2-5s. 2-5, 2-5. 2-5s in jazz is a big study. But for triads right now, again, today's lesson, let's master triads on the top 3 strings. I find this is a great example. Listen to the B section. Reading my arrangement. Etc. Again, more hours of fun with just those triad shapes and goofing around. And you can put the backing track on if you want, have the bass on there. I usually take out the piano. The piano kind of gets in the way for the iReal Pro. I didn't demonstrate that yet, but I will. And then again, just that perhaps just the A section for a while to where you can memorize it, get away from the chart. Really, we want to get away from that sheet music as quickly as possible. Learn the progression. In this case, F. You can even just do it folk style. F, A7, D minor, B flat minor. I'm going to use B flat minor 6. Then A minor 7, D7, G minor 7, C7. Repeat. This is another topic. We'll get into this as we get into what I call those grip chords down there. But today, hopefully, it's I was gonna say easy, but I know it's not once we add all those inversions. But again, it's a really good study to get those triad shapes down. But I would honestly just you might just do this at first, just to get a good idea of the basic progression. Little runs. And then we can have more fun in adding those other chords in too. But I think a lot of it really helps to know the top 3 strings to create these little runs and licks too. So when we look at the actual arrangement, I'm looking at there's no comments. We have F major, A major, and we're going to get the 7 here, the flat 7. Oh, this is another good thing, that the melodies usually are like 80% chord tones, unless it's like a scalar melody, but otherwise the melody notes just come right out of there usually. So you have this to this, and on the D minor, I made this a little study to go to using the inversions. 1. It doesn't use the other one, but then it goes to B flat minor 6 here, and then minor. So notice that B flat minor 6 is not a triad. You might say, well, it's not a triad, but actually it's B flat minor. Here's a 6. We did that earlier in my life, and then here's flat 7. Same little study. So you'll get to know these little tricks. So again, from the top, say 3, 4. A major. Try to map out the shapes. D, I'm going to hit the open string. Triad inversions, B flat minor, 6. Melody, A minor. Okay, so that's B flat minor 6 to A minor. And then once we arrive on the A minor, this is the inversion. Again, huge study. A minor, A minor, A minor. but we don't need all of them. I'm just mapping out the melody. And I'm giving this to you. Of course, you can just read the tabs, but the melody is the root, the third, and then we want to be on a D7 chord right now. So it's the 9 on top. I'm just making that a D with the add 9 on top. Okay, and then D. So that little riff there is really nice. We have A minor, D. Okay, A minor, root on top. That could be called first inversion. Third on top, second version. D, add 9 to just a regular D. And again, that's not a dominant 7th chord, even though it's the flat 7 should be heard in there. But it's not needed. And then the G minor, I just plucked out the melody from the shape. I could have went, but that's a little bit too much movement, too quick. I don't know, maybe not then. Maybe, you could do this. Or you could just go. And then on the C7 chord, I'm doing a nice trick here. A minor, G minor. That is a trick. You might say, well, how come you're not just playing C triad there? This is a really nice kind of a old school sound to hit the C. Kind of an R&B thing. To play a minor triad, A minor, and G minor, kind of creating a C9 color. If you look at a C9 chord, for those of you that know it, I hope you know it, you have a G minor triad in there. So you're hitting the upper, this is again, I mentioned this earlier, triads can be used layered on top. So you get these extensions. That gives you the 9, a D in there, which is C9. And this, it's a beautiful flavor, very soulful again, just. Again, these are nice, simple tools that you can use. So that was a little trick I wanted to share with you. I did not just do maybe what you would expect, which is C6, but I went, and then, where does it go? A minor, sorry. And then I'm on the D7 next. And then I went, this is an interesting thing here. It's a substitute. A minor. Then for the D7, I could have went like this, but I did not. And I could have went like this too, but that would have been a flat 9. So what I did is a great trick. I went from A minor triad, and I flatted the 5th to diminish. And that would be a D7 flat 9. So I'm kind of breaking my rule there. It's still a triad though. Minor, diminish. Okay, A minor, A diminished. And you might write that on top. Correctly, if I were to have written the chord correctly, it should say D7, flat 9. That would mean A diminished on top. So A minor, A dim. That's one of my favorite tricks for 2/5. It's just to play the 2 as a play the 2 as a minor triad, and then simply diminish it, and then that's on top or in replace of your 5 chord. Very quick and easy trick, great for soloing. And then on the G minor, I use this inversion, and then that C augmented sharp 5 to bring out the sharp 5 flavor. And there I slid around and then write that in, but that would be for fun. That second half got a little bit dense there, I know, all this stuff. Then back. You know, at this point, this is where you do want to turn on the iReal Pro and just play along with me. And of course, feel free to ask any questions. I'm afraid to see what the iReal Pro chart says for this song. Probably has a whole bunch of other chords. That's why I think it's important also that you kind of determine what the basic chord structures are. Okay, it has a lot of the other stuff in there as I look at it. Sometimes I edit the iReal Pro to make it how I want it. I'm not going to do that though. I'll just leave it on there. I'm going to take out the piano and just have the bass. Oh, I already did that. Okay, good. So it's at 60. That's a little bit too slow. I'll put it at, again, this is just good practicing. Oh, and then, oh, sorry, and I'm going to loop the A section. I'm not going to go on. Question? No? D minor, 1. I'm just going to hold the shapes. D minor, A minor, oh, 3/6. Again, now I'm just kind of working on the arrangement here. D minor, B flat minor, A minor, D, G minor, this little trick. Improvising a little bit. Etc. So now I'm just kind of having fun playing around with those shapes. Loosely, I guess you could say. I was starting to connect the dots a little bit there instead of just trying to be glued down to exactly what I wrote. Again, if you want to, of course, that could be a nice arrangement, note for note, to the melody. But I would just suggest that you get your A minor, D, G minor, C, etc. Just have fun with those little progressions. But I don't know if you caught that trick not every time, but sometimes I did this. A minor, it's such a good trick. We'll go into this more. A minor, diminish it. G minor, diminish it. It's such a beautiful trick. I highly recommend that you get your minor and then diminish it. Minor, diminish it. I'm going to write this out. This is too important. Minor, diminish it. Minor, diminish it, and then resolve. There, I added a 9 on, by the way. This is a neat trick. F major, add 9. Really sweet sound. F minor, add 9. Really moody. Just 3 notes too. How you can get those cool colors. A little bit of a stretch, obviously. But again, what I was just trying to demonstrate was this quality of going, when you have a 2/5, we'll look at this a lot more when we have 7 chords. A minor, and then instead of D7, diminish it. G minor, this might be new for some of you, this might be old for many of you, but make sure you go through your inversions. You don't even have to think about it once you get the sequence. And then you connect them. There's that little C og. The C og is a very specific color, especially for the song, because the melody is Georgia on my mind. That sharp 5, the augmented, and I'm just doing it as a triad here. Just just to bring out that color specific to this song at that location. But not only if you want that flavor for the melody. It's just nice to be able to throw that augmented in because we don't get a chance to use it all that often. But that's a nice location because of the melody. Otherwise, just keep doing that thing that I had mentioned: minor, diminish, minor, diminish, and that's a quick fix, quick trick for a 2-5 sequence. What I mean by that is minor 7 to the dominant chord, A minor 7, D7, G minor 7, C7. We'll see that a lot in these jazz standards. You can look at the B section. It's not anything different, really. D minor, G minor, D minor. It's B flat 7. I'm playing off the 3rd, D diminished. So that's a great trick right there on that B flat. I actually changed it from what I had. I had B flat triad before. But I was like, no, I want that diminished flavor, the flat 7. It's a bit darker, bluesier. So I went D minor. Other arms reach out to. So again, that D minor goes to D dim, which is cool because D dim is D is a 3rd of B flat. So that's where you could do that diminished triad. And then other arms smile tenderly. And there's that B diminished on the G7. Okay, I didn't notate those things, but those are the use of those diminished triad inversions. Back to this. And that was D minor 7, D minor triad, E7, diminished, A minor, diminish it, G minor, and then I diminish it here. But I really should have went here. I think that's what the melody should have been. So kind of messed up on that last B section. Should be, and then back to your last A there. Well, guys, thank you so much. I hope that gives you some ideas and hopefully some good examples and demonstrations of some things for you to work on. Take your favorite song, your favorite progressions, have fun with this. Next time we meet, it's gonna be more about grip chords than anything else. 7th chords and 6th chords. I'll send you the worksheet. I'll send you all the things you are, Autumn Leaves, and maybe Fly Me to the Moon to get you started. Again, it's not like you have to master those. I just want to make sure I give you variations for you to, look at on your own time. Any other last questions or comments?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Georgia on My Mind video tutorial. This is based off of my workshop from last Sunday, the introduction to the song, where we're just taking, of course, our basic triad shapes, things we started with from the swing blues for improvisation. Same thing here with the chord melody version of Georgia, which is a really pretty song already. It doesn't really need much dressing up. The real book often shows a lot of extra changes. A lot of jazzers love to throw in as many changes as possible on ballads, which is fine. But this is more of the stripped down version, so kind of like what Django Reinhardt did too. So it's great for swing improvisation, without all the extra movements and 2/5s. I edited it so on my iReal Pro app. Let me see if I can show it to you. There it goes. I edited it so that it kind of matches exactly what I had written out on my chart here. So coffee stain and all. Okay, so here we go. Georgia on My Mind, nice and slow version. 2 times through, some embellishments, some triads, but keeping it very simple. Letting the melody, speak for itself. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. There's a diminished sub.
up with the play along. But that's just all your D minor, G minor, D minor, E7, diminished. Last A section. That's just all just D minor triads, B flat minor, A minor. Then it's a little ad lib. And back to the melody, the very last A. Had to do that diminished trick. We're almost done here. Last phrase. So, I do want to show you that last turnaround I was doing at the end of the song. I was going F, F sharp dim, G minor, and then G diminished. And that's your typical 1, 6, 2, 5. So again, really nice, simple ways to navigate through those 1, 6, 2, 5s and all the fancy things. You know, just super easy to do on the guitar once you know those triad shapes. So really keep working on those and have fun with this. Thanks for watching.
It's a fancy version here, and it starts off with just accompanying, like we're backing up a singer with some bass line. But I'm going to stop there. Again, this is a fancier version of just going Georgia, Georgia, you know, just in an old swing style. You're gonna see 2/5 now on the second measure. Instead of just A7, to create more movement, it's common to put the 2 chord in front. So if you see a dominant chord just all by itself, sitting alone in the measure, throw a 2 chord in front. And the 2 chord typically will be minor. It could be dominant if you got to watch the melody, I always say, but typically it's going to be a minor. Sometimes it will be a minor 7 flat 5 or half diminished. When? Most likely when it's going to resolve to a minor chord. So if you see A7 going to D minor, then that's a good indication, hey, I should throw in a E minor 7 flat 5 in front of the A7 to get to D minor. With the lead sheet, just like, hey, this is a simple chord that we see. F major 7 for a full measure, A7 for a full measure, D minor 7 for a full measure, B flat minor 6 for a full measure. And then what I chose to do in this arrangement here was to fancy that up. I did F major 7, E half dim, A7 sharp 5, D minor 7, D minor 7 slash C, G slash B, B flat minor 6. Really to create a lot more movement again. And then even this, I mean, again, it's really educational, I think, to look at the basic score, because that's what you would see on a lead sheet. In F, you'd see 1, 6, 2, 5, and then 3, 6, 2, 5. I chose to do 3, 6, 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5. Again, I like that 3 to create the suspense. It doesn't resolve to the 1. And I save the 1 for the next A section. So again, this chart, just to show you as written, bass, A minor 7, play what I wrote for the example. That G, if you're wondering, why did he put that G dim 7? Again, that's a substitution concept. For C7, you can play a diminished 7th chord on the 3rd, E, on the 5th, there it is, G, on the flat 9, B flat, and on the D flat. Okay, that creates a C7 flat 9. I just wrote G dim 7, but that's on the final chord there, if you're wondering. And why? Because this is where I'm kicking into some chord melody style. And notice this little walk up. This is the first time we encountered like an 8th note walk up. I'll do that again. And then I went. And that right there is more of a chord melody idea. And I'm just barring C13. You have to make sure you pluck correctly. And then I like that diminished, creates that tension to the resolution. That deserves a little bit of practice right there. As a lick, 2-5-1. And then I went more chord melody style. That's where I wanted to now fuse chord soloing with some bass line movement. The whole first A section though is just all about, what we've been mainly discussing, walking the bass, connecting the roots essentially, half step above, half step below, or you'll see some slash chords, which is why I also wanted to share with you that on Green Dolphin Street, this. And sometimes I'm not strict to like playing quarter notes, and this is just, it's easy to teach it this way, to go, kind of strict. But I would add life to it, of course, add some syncopation right here. This is all on the beat, of course. Just for example, sharp 9. now I'm going on to the second page here. You know, you got to make sure you try it out, because and again, this I wanted to create a nice example for you, kind of just summarizing the topics we've been doing, connecting the bass lines, connecting the chords, adding chords that are not written, that means substituting, you know, creating those 2/5s, adding some walk bass lines, descending. So anyways, there's a lot of little ideas thrown in. And I'm just going to play it one more time. If you guys want to try it with me, this is just very square. I would add some interpretation to it later. But again, for teaching purposes, it's nice to play it and learn it square. 3, 4. And now I'm at the second A section there. Oh yeah, as I was playing it, I was thinking, make sure you work out your shapes first. You know, shapes, whether it's alter dominance or whatever. You know, there's a lot of what I try to use are the grip shapes. You know, that you can get by through all of these jazz standards with the basic shapes. My term, you know, lifted from Joe Pass as grab shapes. Again, just map it out. Just go, Georgia. This is a fancy version again. Do that verse, and then add the bass movement. So that second A now, check it out here. Now is when I wanted to share some chord melody soloing ideas. Check it out here. Now is when I wanted to share some chord melody soloing ideas. So first of all, F major 7 inversions on the top 4 strings. This. And this, the first one is truly F major 7. The second one is an F6/9. I often nickname this magic chord. F6/9, we all love this in bossa nova, but as a 4-note voicing, it's just this. And here's F major 7, F6/9, F major 7. Okay, I'm mixing up the colors a little bit there, but I went like this. And that's E minor 7 flat 5 if this shape is new for you. But check it out. You just played it a second ago right here. But I'm just refingering it. Same sound, just different top 4 strings again. So, you know, that's primarily what the next solo guitar workshop is going to be about. Chord melody phrases. I love that. That's one of my recent studies, my quick lick chord melody hacks, for those keeping track of that. And that's a 2-5-1 in a minor key. I went E half dim with a little scale degree there. Then A7 sharp 5. It's actually also a flat 9. And then the sharp 9. You gotta try this. If you haven't already tried this, is just do this and then slide it up 3 frets. And then from there, 4 frets. And now it's very Django, I know, very Django-y sounding too. This shape is beautiful, this minor 7 flat 5 shape. Of course, it could be thought of as a minor 6 shape, but notice this, and then here, and then here. When you add a scale tone, it makes it more chord melody. And I chose to resolve it from the note above. 9, 1. On that E half dim, you can also put the E in the bass. I didn't do that, but I might when I'm playing it. And then now to continue on, yeah, that's one of my favorite hacks, so please work on that. And those are just quarter notes. So we had this. Let's see. You gotta try it in context. So here on that D minor 7, I just added more little filler, grip shape filler, I call it, chord melody phrases. Okay, just right out of the shape. It's just an arpeggio, but I always say just out of the shape. But, well, not true, it's not just an arpeggio. It adds the 11, right here. That's G, the 4, like a pentatonic. And then this. And that was B flat minor 9. Okay, I just notated it as B flat minor 7. If you look above at the, if you're looking at the score, it's just a B flat minor 6 chord, but this is B flat minor 9. And then not only that, here I chose to do E flat 7, which is a 2-5. So again, it creates movement. If I was walking a bass, I might do this. See how if you see just one chord in the measure, you make, if it's a minor chord, and then you can put a dominant chord after it. If it's a dominant chord, you can put a minor chord in front of it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you create these movements. So B flat minor 7, actually I'll play what I wrote in minor 9, resolve it, E flat 7. Okay, just a little chord melody idea. And that was actually it's kind of more E flat 9. And then let's continue. 3, 6, 2, 5, A minor 7. I'm barring across like this, but I'm using the open A. And then D9, or it's really D13. And so again, now I am combining chord melody soloing ideas to add some interest while I'm still maintaining the bass. Okay, that's to me an important aspect of what we're doing this time. I added the square back to my favorite hack here, one of my favorite hacks. That's a 2-5-1 lick. And then I continued on to the A minor as a sub for the F major. Instead of 1, of course the chart's gonna say, the basic chart, we'll always say, no, I shouldn't say always, but generally we'll say 1, 6, 2, 5. But realize a lot of jazz players will put the 3, or the bass player would probably play the 3. It creates this drama, the suspension before it resolves. If it resolves, oftentimes on the first time, it won't resolve, but of course in this time, you wanna resolve it to F. So I put A minor 7, and then I connected it to a D13. And I that 9 on top though. That kind of mirrors this little lick. 9-1, or 2-1 if you want to think of it. Check out here. So a lot of these little licks like that we can share. So we have this. And I wanted to talk a minute about, this is also where I vary the rhythm. So I went 1 and. So I'm syncopating it. Oh, by the way, I'm barring that A minor like this. I think I told you it. Minor 7s, oftentimes I love. You can't go wrong with that little bar shape. On the A minor 7 in this example, you can use that open A obviously. So you can do this. But if I had to do it on G minor 7, I would bar all 6. I'll do that again. Again, when I'm demonstrating is, yeah, make this a little lick. If you like it, it's a 2-5 lick. 2, 5. And then not only that, 2, 5. See, it's 3, 6, 2, 5. You got a chain of 2-5 licks, essentially. But check it out for fun. G minor 7. I just transposed it. These are all movable licks, each one of these. That's what I'm trying to do here, is to create these movable phrases you can just grab and put into your bag of licks and tricks. Went on to the G minor 7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. So it's kind of it's a rhythmic phrase as well, and I wanted to bring that out because that has not been a focus, but jazz is all about rhythm. And then here's that dim. If you recall, last time I did this, I approached it with the G diminished 7 above the F resolving C7 flat 9. Now I approach it with the E dim 7 to the F6. And that deserves some practice, just this. And that's a 5-1, just a 5-1 lick. You can back. By the way, I love practicing backwards. Like if I kept making an error just on that one part, I would isolate this 5, 1. I call it 5-1. It's just a diminished sub. See that? In an F6. But then I'd go back in front of it and put that C13. There's that little picking motion. I grab that little melody note. Grab that little melody note. You have this little melody. That's what I'm talking about. And I kind of grace note into it too with a little slide, almost making it a triplet, but I won't get too technical. Kind of bluesy turnaround there, getting kind of busy again. So, but now I have to practice that with the G minor 7 in front of it. And I put the G minor 7 right on beat 1 just for practice. 2-5-1 lick. 2, 5, turn around. And I just stopped on F, even though this song is going to go. It's pretty busy there. Again, when you look at the chart above it, it's simple, but again, this is how you fancy things up, put more bass line movement. So let's backtrack again. I hope you're really trying this out with me with that, and I'm gonna do it super slow. Sometimes I say slow, but I don't do it, but I will. A minor 7. Here's what I want you to do to practice. Do this, do this, do this, do this, and then if you can, the diminish would be nice, and this. But that's step number 1, just to kind of see the shapes that I'm using in this case. Don't worry about the filler note. This, to that 13 with the 9 on top, G minor 11. These all just become little licks. C13, diminish, get a little bluesy. Now we're at the B section, and I was kind of doing a little shuffle thing. If you caught that feel, if you caught the boom chicken, the little shuffle thing. Let's see. Keeping that quarter note bass. Boom, boom, boom. D minor 7. This is a B section. Bass. And put it up high. It's actually not very hard because it just mirrors. Remember, the 6th string here is the 1st string here. It's the same thing. So you just do this. But I didn't want to just do that, so I added on the 9. But I did it there on the diminished chord. Now we're at the B section. And I was kind of doing a little shuffle thing. If you caught that feel, if you caught the boom, chicken, the little shuffle thing, let's see. And now I'm back to just keeping that quarter note bass. Boom, boom, boom. D minor 7. This is a B. And check it out later on your own. D minor 7. Other. It's this. D minor 7. This is pretty standard. Just connecting the dots. D minor 7. Fifth in the bass. G minor 7. Flat 6 or flat 3rd. I'll say it again. Quarter notes. 13 for color, but no substitutions, not anything too fancy. Some arpeggiation, but this is all just an example of more bass line stuff again. Okay, let me play that without talking. And there is an example of, I didn't know what to do. I was like, well, what am I gonna do here? I wanted to show, hey, take what you play here in the bass and put it up high. It's actually not very hard because it just mirrors. Remember, the 6th string here is the 1st string here. It's the same thing. So you just do this, but I didn't want to just do that, so I added on the 9. But I did it there on the diminished chord, just to show you again. So I went, sorry, that D minor / C, and then, sorry, it's getting pretty small here. Oh, and then a fill, almost that same hack you saw earlier, by the way. Actually, it was the same hack. B minor 7 flat 5, E7, okay, to an A minor 7, inversion, and then D13, tritone sub for the D. If you D7, tritone is A flat, and then on the G minor 7 to the C7, 2/5, I'm just doing a walk up. Connecting it to the C7 with chords. A minor, G minor 7, A minor 7, B flat minor 7, C13. And I'm just kind of, look at how I'm playing it. Just one finger, like a capo. Okay. And then finally, the last A. Okay, I talked about that trick. On the 1 chord, on a major chord, just F major for full measure, what do? Walk up to the 3. Okay, that's, I always cite, don't get around much anymore. You know, but it's almost like the honeysuckle rose trick as well. Major 7. Okay, let's just filler again. And then Georgia. And then what do here? I can't look at this version, sorry, my eyes are getting so bad. Let me look at my bigger version here. And yes, there's some octaves coming up here. So we have this. A diminished trick here on the A7 flat 9. I had to throw some of this in. That's one of the great examples of a diminished 7th chord substitution for a dominant chord, the diminished 7th. You all know that by now. Very Wes Montgomery, very Django Reinhardt. All jazz guitar players love that. But what's kind of neat about this is that, check out the shape. I purposely did the E minor 7 flat 5 like this shape. And then see the shape here? When you turn it to diminish, go to the next 4 strings, it's the same shape. See, here, here, same shape. We love same shapes. But of course, that's not what I did. I did this. And and then resolving it to just a plain old D minor 7 so I can hit a nice bluesy octave lick. And then G/B. Of course, that's kind of Joe Pass or Wes Montgomery. It's just you can use your thumb. You go G/B. There sort of was a resolution. And that could just be a standalone lick. Okay. D minor 7, and that's just blues scale. D minor. Favorite bluesy licks, whatever you want to do on that D minor 7, but let's connect it again. B, E half dim, and then G/B. And then I thought I'd throw in some thirds. I'm just going all out here at the last 8 bars and doing some thirds, double stops. Johnny Smith, Barney Kessel, all those great jazz guitar players did these type of licks. And you just have to visualize the chord shape. And I did it as a triplet. That's the first time I introduced triplets, actually, on this particular arrangement. Of course, you can add triplets, but this... Okay. So again, some little licks here for sure, but practice it in context. The arrangement. The last part, more walk-up bass line, kind of a gospel-y thing here. But actually, I'm just, remember G minor, F6/9, F6/9, F major 7, D7 flat 9, aka diminished sub, and then G minor 7, which is B flat 6. You're probably saying, Tracy, how do I get that 3 here? That was a typo. I meant to remove that. That won't be there in the next round, in the next edition of this. And then B flat 6. And that's actually the melody. Georgia on. And now is a pedal tone technique in the melody here. Like I said, on the sus9 chords, 9 sus4 chords, I like my thumb. And then the F major 9, something really sweet and pretty. Hey everybody, thank you so much for attending this workshop. I'll see you hopefully at the next round.